Hello, parents and families. My name is Jessica Bora, and I'm a math teacher in Vista Unified, but I'm also the parent of 2 elementary school students in our district. If you're anything like me, this past spring was an absolute roller coaster. Even though I'm a teacher, there were definitely times when I struggled to know how to best support my own children in their learning at home. So in this video, I'd like to offer some thoughts on how we as parents can come alongside our students and give them the support they need to develop as learners without taking on the burden of being their teacher. So before we dive in, I do want to mention one thought with my teacher hat on, and that is struggle is okay. It's actually a part of learning. I have this sign posted in my classroom that says, "It's okay if you are confused. It just means you are learning something new." So if your student is struggling with their learning at home, don't think that it means that you or they are failing. As parents, sometimes we want to jump in and rescue them by telling them the answer or showing them how to think about something. But what's actually more beneficial is to help them figure it out for themselves. This helps to develop lifelong learning skills like how to look for the information that they actually need or how to advocate for themselves and seek appropriate help. So let's talk about some ways to help our students through that struggle to build their confidence as learners. I know we've all heard this from our kids before. When they're struggling and they say, "I don't get it." We know that you're their parent, not their teacher, and so you shouldn't feel the pressure to have all the answers. Instead, think about how you can help them get unstuck. And a good place to start is to help them figure out why they are stuck. Sometimes they don't even know, so the first step is to help them identify what exactly is going on. Is it because they don't understand what they're supposed to do? Is it because they don't understand what they're learning or it's really difficult for them? Or are they just trying to communicate that they don't want to do this right now? One way to help them figure this out is to simply ask them to finish the sentence. "I don't understand because," in other words, like help them put it into words. This helps them focus on what exactly it is that's giving them trouble. And once you're both clear on that issue, you can help them figure out a next best step. So what if the issue is they don't understand what they're supposed to do? Then what? If that's the issue, you might want to ask them questions like this. "Can you reread the problem or the assignment directions to me? What is your first step?" Or even just tell me what your teacher said. And the goal here is to get them to a place where they can just get started. For many students, getting over that initial hurdle is all they need. And as a teacher, I find actually that 9 times out of 10, this helps students get unstuck because it helps them refocus on what is actually being asked of them. But as a parent, I think one of the most frustrating times is when they're stuck because they don't understand what they're learning, they're confused, or it's really difficult for them, especially when it's something that I'm not, necessarily familiar with either. But remember that struggling is a part of learning, and by allowing it to happen and helping them through that, we are building confidence in their ability to learn, even when things are difficult. So in this case, it's really important not to do the thinking for them. Instead, try asking them questions like these. What is one thing you do understand? What have you tried so far? Do you have any notes or videos that can help? Do you think you can figure it out now? For math especially, can you try to solve it a different way? An important note is that it's okay to walk away when they haven't figured it out all the way yet. Sometimes they just need help getting over one little part, and then it's okay to let them continue on their own. Again, the goal here is to help them learn that they have the ability to figure it out without you having to walk them through every step of the way. So what if after all of that, they're still stuck? A teacher that I know uses the phrase 3 before me. In other words, she tells her students, try 3 things before you ask the teacher for help. So if something doesn't work at first for your student, encourage them to try a different strategy. This might be going back to Canvas to check for other resources, reaching out to a friend, or even just taking a brain break and coming back to it later. All of this being said, there's definitely a time and place to ask the teacher for help. But even that part can be tricky in terms of putting it into words. So instead of just sending an email to the teacher saying, I don't get it, some of these sentence frames might be helpful in communicating with their teacher. So far, I understand blank, but I'm confused about blank. Or I keep getting stuck when I blank. Or I don't understand how to blank. And just as a side note, it's okay and encouraged for students to bring their questions to a live session with their teacher. As a teacher, I always want my students to come to class with questions or misconceptions that they have, because when we talk about those as a whole group, that helps the learning of every other student in the room. So one last thought, sometimes I don't get it really just means I just don't want to do this right now. And that they don't have the motivation or energy to get this task accomplished in that moment. In that case, just some ideas on how you might help them refocus. But the key is finding something that works for them, because every student is different. For some students, helping them to make a checklist or setting a goal can be motivating. Setting a timer, or even just getting a snack, or like I said before, taking a break and coming back to it at a later time can be helpful. At the end of the day, remember that struggle is okay. It's a part of learning. And as a parent, the best thing we can do is to keep a positive attitude and believe that they can do it, and to tell them that. Hopefully this video was helpful, and remember, you can always reach out to your child's teacher for more information.